Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. In this video, we'll be discussing a terrible place where all of the worst witches and wizards in the wizarding world are sent to repent for their crimes. I am of course talking about Azkaban, an island fortress that has existed since the 15th century. The name Azkaban is a mixture of the word Alcatraz, which refers to a famous muggle island prison, and Abaddon, which is a Hebrew word that means place of destruction. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? At one point in time, before the fortress was built, Azkaban was just an island. But when its first inhabitant, Ekrizdis, found the island, he decided to transform it into his own little dark arts experiment. Ekrizdis was a dark wizard that practiced the worst forms of dark magic, and he was known to lure sailors to the island, then torture them. Before he got there, he was crazy, but after spending a considerable amount of time there, he went completely bonkers. While Ekrizdis lived there, he placed concealment charms on the island so that no one would be able to find it, and after he died, these concealment charms were finally lifted. This is when the British Ministry of Magic first discovered the island. The investigative team from the ministry who first went to Azkaban refused to discuss their findings, other than the fact that the island was infested with dementors. I don't think we want to know what sort of things happen there. Over the course of its history, Azkaban has been the home to many witches and wizards, including Percival Dumbledore, Bartemius Crouch Jr., various Lestrangers, various Gaunts, and many more, just to name a few. Though it was under much scrutiny initially, when the ministry recognized that they could utilize the island to imprison evildoers, they capitalized on this and began sentencing people to Azkaban. The Ministry of Magic felt that the smaller, existing wizarding prisons that were scattered across the country posed a considerable security risk and put citizens in danger. Makes sense? Azkaban serves as the ultimate prison due to its remote location and the sea of dementors that make sure the prisoners are in check. Escaping from Azkaban before your sentence is over is punishable by a fate worse than death, a dementor's kiss. The island itself is located in the North Sea, but the island is said to have never appeared on any map, muggle or magical. It's suspected that the island was either created or enlarged via magical means. I'm thinking that Ekrizdis was probably responsible for that. The North Sea is a marginal sea of the Atlantic Ocean, located between Great Britain, Denmark, Norway, Germany, the Netherlands, Belgium, and France. What I want to know is, if it has never appeared on any map, and all we know is that it's in the North Sea, which is gigantic, how are we supposed to find it? Where is it? Fortunately, using context from the books and films, we actually are able to more accurately pinpoint its exact location. Let's start with Chapter 1 of The Half-Blood Prince, The Other Minister. In this very first chapter of the book, Cornelius Fudge gives us a bit of context that can help us to begin to locate the island. "I've just come from Azkaban," Fudge had panted, tipping a large amount of water out of the rim of his bowler hat into his pocket. "Middle of the North Sea, you know. Nasty flight. The dementors are in uproar." He shuddered. "They've never had a breakout before." Okay, so with that we can safely determine that it's somewhere in the middle of the North Sea. This helps narrow it down a little bit, and it makes sense that it would be right in the middle of the ocean. What's interesting about this piece of text, however, is that we know that Sirius Black escaped the island by transforming into a dog and swimming to the mainland. The North Sea is 600 miles by 360 miles. Did Sirius swim hundreds of miles to shore in the extremely turbulent waters depicted in the film? Interesting. Brushing that aside, in Chapter 19 of The Prisoner of Azkaban, The Servant of Lord Voldemort, Sirius gives us a clue in the text that can further help us to locate Azkaban. "I swam as a dog back to the mainland. I journeyed north and slipped into the Hogwarts grounds as a dog. I've been living in the forest ever since. Except when I come to watch the Quidditch, of course. You fly as well as your father did, Harry." What we can extrapolate from this piece of text is that Azkaban prison is located to the south of Hogwarts, as he had to journey north after swimming back to the mainland. Using this information and the knowledge that Hogwarts is located somewhere in northern Scotland, we can hone in on Azkaban a little bit closer. While pinpointing its exact location isn't possible, I think that we can safely assume that Azkaban is located somewhere off the coast of northern England or southern Scotland. Yorkshire? Northumberland? Edinburgh? We can also deduce that Azkaban, though central within the North Sea, is probably not dead center, as it's entirely implausible that Sirius was able to swim hundreds of miles in his dog form. What do you guys think? Are there any other clues which would reveal the location of Azkaban that I'm missing? If so, let me know down in the comments section below. Until next time, you're a wizard, Harry!